John chapter 1 verses 12 and 13, John the Apostle writes, "But to all who did receive him, who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God, who were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God." So I want to take a few moments to relish in this phrase in the middle of this passage. It says, he gave the right to become children of God. Think about that. Scripture elsewhere talks about the fact that we were once enemies of God. We were opposed to God. We're hostile to God in mind and deed, and living out the will of the flesh in rebellion against God. And yet, in that condition, God saves people, and he gives them right to become his children. Notice it says they were born not of these things, but of God. So really, we are his children, not just in a metaphorical sense, but in a sense that he gave birth to us through giving us this understanding of who his son was. 1 John chapter 3, verse 1, the first part of that passage says, "See what kind of love the Father has given to us, that we should be called children of God. And so we are." So John writes to the people that he's writing to, and he almost reminds them, he says, that we should be called children of God, and so we are. Like, this is almost too good to be true, that we become children of God. He is a great Father, and what kind of love has he had to make us his children, whenever our plight was like what I described earlier. 1 John chapter 5, verse 1, "Everyone who believes that Jesus is the Christ has been born of God, and everyone who loves the Father loves whoever has been born of him." We see that if we find within ourselves this faith that Jesus is the Christ, that is evidence that we've been born of God, that we've been born again. And also we see evidence, if we've been born again, born of God, that we love the other people around us who have been born of him. We have this special connection with other believers. Lastly, Ephesians chapter 1, latter part of verse 4, we'll read through verse 6. "In love, he predestined us for adoption to himself as sons through Jesus Christ, according to the purpose of his will, to the praise of his glorious grace with which he has blessed us in the beloved." We've been predestined to adoption. He's adopted us as sons. This was according to the purpose of his will, because he wanted to do that, and to the praise of his glorious grace. What a recognition of his grace towards us, with which he has blessed us.